Haruna Iddrisu is leading that race with about 30%. But one thing you see is that unlike the NPP race where the vote is actually skewed to the right, what you see in the NDC case is that you have a fair level of distribution where even Haruna Iddrisu, who is leading, is not able to get more than half of the respondents who were interviewed.
Consistently, I've seen that the Global Info Analytics has put Haruna Iddrisu as the forerunner. How are they arriving at this?
Well, so this is their tracking poll, and over 9,000 respondents were actually interviewed across all 16 regions. And this is the result that Global Info Analytics is having. This will give us the chance to compare the results of the poll in July and then also in September and see who has lost and who has gained in terms of the momentum. So you see right here in terms of who to lead the NDC clearly, just like you mentioned. But Asiedu Nketiah will still fancy his chance. He's coming in with 24.1%, and other aspirants are also there. Ato Forson, 18.4%. But let's look at the July poll and then September poll and see what we have so far in terms of what has changed. And if you look at Haruna Iddrisu's bracket, he's been able to add some 3 percentage points to his popularity, moving from 27% to 30%. Asiedu Nketiah, on the other hand, has been able to, he dropped, unfortunately, from 26 to 24. Ato Forson
between July and September.
Absolutely. Ato Forson in July, when the economy was performing so well, the dollar, the cedi becoming the best performing currency in the world, was having 22% in terms of popularity. But as we get close to the third quarter and ending the third quarter, he has actually dropped in popularity from 22% to 18%. But there were certain, some interesting pairings that were also done, and in terms of the blocks. If you look at the Akan block, like, for instance, who would you vote for? Definitely you see Asiedu Nketiah leading in the Akan block, and Ato Forson coming second with Haruna Iddrisu third, and Julius Debra for there. If you go to the northern block, there you see Haruna Iddrisu for the first time leading with a mammoth number 59, almost 60%, and Asiedu Nketiah coming just with 17%, Ato Forson 9%. Julius Debra, unfortunately, and then Akujeto Ablakwa, all not able to poll 5% of the people who were interviewed. If you go to the OT region, definitely Akujeto Ablakwa is leading there. And if you do the swing regions, you see Haruna Iddrisu reflecting that 29% also there. Let's do some matchups that were done in terms of the head-to-head, and you see an interesting pairing that we are getting. And the question was, in an election, if you have Asiedu Nketiah and then Bawumia, who would you vote for? And this was the outcome: 50% for Asiedu Nketiah, 45% for Bawumia.
That's very close, though.
Very, very close. If you have Asiedu Nketiah and Kennedy Japan, Asiedu Nketiah was still leading. But if you have, Bawumia and Julius Debra, who would you vote for? This was the outcome. But one thing we have observed in terms of the polling numbers is that Global Info Analytics interviewed more NDC voters than MPP voters, with floating voters just being a small component of that sample size. And so we may say...
For this particular block.
Yes, exactly. We are saying that this could have influenced the results here, because once you interview more NDC members than MPP members and you ask them to choose between MPP candidates and NDC candidates, you definitely will have an inflated, outcome for the NDC. So this is what we are getting. And the last one that I'll put out there is Kennedy Japan versus Julius Debra, with Kennedy Japan coming on top there. So you say that they interviewed which group of persons more? In fact, they interviewed more NDC than MPP. If I can get that data, that will put this in proper context. If you look at the sample size.
But even so, for a particular match, you definitely will see that even though they interviewed more NDC, still Bawumia seemed to have some numbers ahead of
exactly what we are trying to put across. And if you look at the party affiliation, which is here, you can see NDC in terms of the numbers very, very high compared to MPP. Floating voters just around 15 and 17%.
This group of people, the way they are so dangerous.
They're undisclosed, and then floating voters. So this is what we are tracking. That's when
can you see if you can share with me that particular slide that tells if you match Bawumia and Julius Deborah.
Let's try and see Bawumia and other candidates and see.
Okay, that's even a better way.
Okay, this is it. So you have Bawumia versus Haruna Iddrisu. Who would you vote for? This is swing regions. Definitely going for Haruna Iddrisu. 63%, Bawumia 35%. Bawumia and Ato Forson in the swing regions, you have Ato Forson leading. If you have Asiedu Nketiah versus Bawumia in the swing region, definitely Asiedu Nketiah is leading. And even Julius Deborah in the swing regions is beating Bawumia, and we are saying that possibly the sample size and the party affiliation of the people that Global Info Analytics spoke to possibly could have influenced this outcome.
I think this brings clarity to the methodology that you use. Thank you so much.
We are not at a place where the priority of the party is about who is going to lead us in the 2028 election. In fact, within the party, our priority is not about who our candidate is going to be in 2028. Our priority is to see how we can work together the same way we came together to win the 2024 election. We just, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We are just 9 months in office. How we can, engineer collectivism. How we can engineer from the base to the top. How we can bring Ghanaians to the table to ensure that the nation's problem is being resolved. Currently, as we speak, that is the mandate that we have. The mandate Ghanaians give us is to ensure that we lead the country in the next 4 years. And leading the country will require that we perform. It will require that we help the president to achieve his vision. It requires that we make the people of Ghana happy. All Ghanaians want to know is that they don't experience what the MPP have taken them through. Through that effort and through that achievement, the next successor will emerge. A natural leader of the NDC will emerge. Now, I want to say that we have shifted, the generation have shifted from a situation where people lobby popularity into presidency. It has shifted, and if you care to know, throughout the country, both political parties, Ghanaians are well aware of who they intend to lead them and at what time. And they will not do so through polls. They will do so when the time is right. If anybody in the NDC believes that this is the time for he or she to be campaigning for presidency, when we are 8 months, 9 months in office, that person is dreaming. Clearly, it shows that that person doesn't want to be a president. He wants to destroy himself for ceremonial reasons. And so please, the party and government have a mandate to deliver. And all of us ascribe to that mandate. We went around and promised the people of Ghana that we'll make their situation better. We promised the people of Ghana that we'll offer them what is better than what Akufo-Addo gave them. We promised the people of Ghana that under us, they won't see corruption. In fact, they are not seeing corruption. But we must work together to provide food on the table of Ghanaians.
Well, that point has been made, Mr. Gbande. We get that. Yeah. But this poll has given you a head start on what to expect if you are going into your presidential primaries. These figures have come up.
As a party executive and as a party, we polls are ancillary tools that support our decision making. But like I told you, the party has a code. If you don't know that code, then you cannot win election within the party.
Well, so these polls don't mean anything to the party. Is that what you're saying at this time?
They mean a lot to our geopolitics. They mean a lot to decision making. But we are not there yet. The party's attention, the Ghanaians don't expect us to be where the conversation is going. And the party's attention is not on who succeeds His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The party's focus is on how to deliver the mandate deliver on the mandate Ghanaians give us. But we are very glad that these polls are coming. We are observing the commentaries, but that is not what is going to determine who the NDC will present for 2028 election. We are not there yet. When we get there, a decision will be made as to whether we are going to agree on one single successor, consensually agreed by everyone, or would sample a number of possible candidates to go through an internal context for which a candidate will emerge. The NDC, if you look at the history of the two political parties, it is only the NDC that has a history of choosing a presidential candidate without a lot of people contesting. If you check, that is our history. We even have situations where nobody contests at all. We go and we do declarations and we move on. So we have a way of handling our internal party issues. But I want to emphasize again that we are grateful for this research. It's very good, but that is not where the party is. And Ghanaians do not expect anybody, in fact, no appointee should be engaged into what we call presidential ambition. It will be an affront to our collective interest. It will be strange. In fact, it will be condemnable and unaccepted to where we are at this time. Well,
Mr. Mande, I get what you're saying, and this is a research not done by your political party members, but by Info Analytics, and they are giving a hypothetical situation here. They've spoken to people affiliated to the NDC as well as people affiliated to the NPP. And these are fine gentlemen, Asiedu Nketiah, Julius Deborah Ato Forson, as well as Haruna Iddrisu. Looking at these fine gentlemen and the kind of support that they are receiving in this research. What do you make of the research anyway? I mean, hypothetically speaking, not that, based on what you just said, that's not where your mind is as a party yet. But this is what is showing now. What do you make of this? Will this help you moving forward?
No, it will not help us. I'm saying that if you bring Jesus Christ to come and lead a failed political party or a failed government, that person will lose. So we want to make sure that we whip all our appointees to focus on their job. Each and every one have been given a job. Each and every stakeholder or senior person within the party, the names you have mentioned, the national chairman has a responsibility to keep the party united and solid. Honorable Haruna Iddrisu has a responsibility to deliver on the mandate on education. Honorable Ato Forson has a responsibility to deliver on finance and economic recovery, including names that you do not know. But I am happy that today you are mentioning names of persons who can be presidents in our party. It means that at any point in time, the party has options. That is very good for us. But as to who will emerge, we are not there yet. We are not there. You may have been tipped by pollsters. You may not have been tipped by pollsters. When the Council of Elders, the wise men in the party, the spiritual men in the party, the rank and file of the party, if there's a reason for them to rally around one candidate, they will do so when the timing is right. But at the moment, we will run away from this conversation, decline this invitation of discussing who becomes the next presidential candidate, encourage the rank and file of the party to run away from that conversation so that we solidify ourselves around the presidency and the government to deliver on the mandate that brought us to power in the first place. If we were in opposition, we will not be talking about who succeeds President Mahama by this time. We are in government, and we have a mandate to deliver. That mandate is so crucial that nothing will obstruct any of us to engage in any other conversation than ensuring that we are able to fight Galamsey, we are able to make sure oral is working. People who have stolen money will have to be prosecuted, and so must happen. Deal with food security, deal with economic recovery, tackle unemployment issues and any other threat that confronts our nation, as well as we build a nation together. I am determined that President Mahama must succeed, and that is my focus in the meantime. And that is the focus on the larger and majority individuals in our party. We cannot fail the masses. We cannot fail you. We cannot fail the people of Ghana. And so let us kill this conversation. That conversation will come when the timing is right.